The man who built an empire telling you to master your emotions recently struggled to master his own. And what that reveals isn't just about him. It's about how we misunderstand power itself. Today, we're breaking down one of the internet's most polarizing self-improvement figures, Wes Watson, through a Machiavellian and Stoic lens. Not to attack, not to gossip, but to extract lessons about authenticity, discipline, and the difference between performing strength and possessing strength. Because the most dangerous illusion in self-improvement is mistaking volume for authority and intimidation for power. Stay with me until the end, because the final insight about insecurity might change how you view confidence forever. And remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more. Chapter 1: The Mask of Aggression. Wes Watson rose to prominence as a former California inmate turned fitness influencer and motivational speaker, a man who preached discipline, emotional control, and relentless self-accountability. His story centered on a 10-year prison sentence that he claims transformed him from a reckless lifestyle into a hyper-structured, regimented individual. Through his YouTube channel, GP Penitentiary Life, featuring his prison workout routines and aggressive delivery style, he attracted millions who were hungry for structure and blunt accountability. But Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." And the internet has recently seen moments where emotional intensity overtook emotional control. Live stream outbursts, confrontational responses to critics, and heated exchanges that contrasted sharply with his message of Stoic dominance. Now, emotional expression is human. No one is immune to frustration. But when your entire brand is built on emotional invincibility, any visible contradiction becomes magnified. Lesson: here's the Machiavellian principle. True power is quiet. Insecurity seeks amplification. The louder someone insists on their dominance, the more we should ask, who are they convincing? The world or themselves? Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing emotion. It means not being ruled by it. Section 2: Transformation versus Identity. Redemption stories are powerful. Society loves the narrative of someone leaving behind a troubled past and rebuilding themselves. Wes Watson's brand was built almost entirely on this arc, from incarceration to millionaire fitness coach. To his supporters, he represented proof that extreme discipline could rewrite destiny. His Watson Fit coaching programs promised not just physical change, but identity reconstruction, routines at 4 a.m., strict meal plans, and uncompromising mental standards. But Machiavelli reminds us, men judge more by the eye than by the hand. In other words, we judge what we see, not what we truly know. As Watson's business expanded, scrutiny increased. Clients and critics alike began questioning pricing structures, coaching accessibility, and whether the transformation he marketed was consistently delivered behind the scenes. Lesson: real change is behavioral, not performative. You don't need to announce transformation if you're living it. The quieter the evolution, the more permanent it tends to be. The takeaway isn't that transformation is fake. It's that branding growth is different from embodying growth. Section 3: Power Dynamics and Respect. How someone treats others, especially those they perceive as having less power, is one of the clearest windows into their character. Wes Watson's hyper-masculine branding leaned heavily into dominance language, elite standards, weakness elimination, no excuses. For many followers, it was motivating. For others, it crossed into intimidation and public shaming. As controversies grew, including disputes with former clients, online feuds, and allegations of misrepresented results, audiences began questioning whether the message of strength was masking insecurity. Machiavelli offered a crucial nuance. It is better to be respected than feared, because fear without respect turns into resentment. Lesson: authentic power doesn't need to diminish others. If your confidence requires someone else to feel smaller, that confidence is conditional. The strongest leaders historically weren't those whom intimidated. They were those who commanded respect through consistency.
Section 4. Wealth, Physique, and the Visual Illusion. Luxury cars, massive houses, sculpted physiques. Social media has created a new currency: visual dominance. As Wes Watson's brand expanded, his content increasingly showcased wealth and status. Multi-million-dollar homes, high-end vehicles, designer clothing. Supporters saw proof of success. Critics questioned whether the image was being used as persuasion more than information. Machiavelli warned rulers about appearances for a reason. Appearances are tools, not truths. Rented environments, staged content, and exaggerated branding are common marketing strategies. That doesn't automatically make them deceitful, but it does mean we should stay discerning. Similarly, extreme physiques spark debate: genetics, supplementation, enhancement rumors. But the bigger point isn't how someone looks. It's why they feel compelled to prove superiority through appearance. Lesson: external displays are amplifiers, not foundations. If your sense of worth collapses without the car, the body, or the house, the problem isn't material, it's internal. Stoicism teaches that what you own should never own you. Section 5. The Psychology of Insecurity. Every dominant persona has a vulnerability, and that's not a flaw, it's human. In Watson's case, recent legal disputes and deposition proceedings tied to business complaints brought new layers of scrutiny. Testimonies and allegations, ranging from disputed service delivery to financial disagreements, shifted public perception in certain circles from admiration to skepticism. The details of these proceedings mattered less to many viewers than the symbolism, the contrast between an unshakable public persona and the reality of legal and interpersonal conflict. Machiavelli suggested that understanding a leader means observing what they protect most fiercely. In modern terms, what someone over-defends often reveals what they over-doubt. Lesson: confidence isn't pretending you have no weaknesses. Confidence is being unbothered by them. The most powerful individuals in history weren't defined by physical traits. They were defined by mental resilience and strategic calm. Section 6. False strength versus authentic power. So what separates performative strength from authentic power? Performative strength is reactive. Authentic power is deliberate. Performative strength needs validation. Authentic power generates respect without asking. Performative strength is built on image. Authentic power is built on identity. In Wes Watson's trajectory, from prison transformation icon to wealthy influencer to controversial figure facing business and legal scrutiny and the possibility of being incarcerated again, we see a living case study of how quickly public admiration can shift when identity and image fall out of alignment. Lesson: the Stoics believed that your character is what remains when applause disappears. Machiavelli believed that power without wisdom collapses under pressure.
Combine both ideas, and you get a simple truth. Control yourself before you try to control perception. Conclusion: the viewer's mirror. Remember, this analysis isn't about tearing someone down. It's about using public figures as mirrors. Ask yourself, where am I performing strength instead of building it? Where am I chasing appearance instead of substance? What insecurities am I trying to outrun instead of understanding? Because the internet rewards spectacle, but life rewards stability. True power isn't loud, it isn't aggressive, it isn't obsessed with being seen. True power is composed, consistent, and internally validated. If this breakdown helped you think differently about power, authenticity, and self-mastery, hit the like button so this message reaches more people. Subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy, psychology, and real self-improvement, not the flashy kind, the foundational kind. And in the comments, tell me which public persona or philosophy you want analyzed next. Remember, you don't need to look powerful to be powerful. You just need to master the one person you actually control.